for the front office report. Sam, would you like to answer that question for Chris Curtis?
Well, I have no idea what Sir Paul played last night. I was lucky enough to be at the Celtics game.
Ooh, nice.
So to answer your question, from time to time I text Sam and I say, hey, I'm at the game. Are you here? And he normally gets back to me and he says, sorry, missed this. Once the game is over.
Oh, Greg. That's too bad.
I mean, maybe Greg, get the message, Greg.
That's what Greg says to me when I ask, is he there?
Show was great last night, by the way, and Fenway and concerts, it's such a great experience. And somebody like Paul McCartney, I don't care if it's Zach Brown or whoever it is, it's such a great place to see a show, especially on a night like last night.
Yeah, we're lucky to host them. It's been a brutal stretch with COVID, and actually I was thinking about that during the first McCartney show, just looking around and seeing so many happy people, great weather, place is packed. It really is a special time when we get to do that all summer long.
So you're there last night. Does that make you even more intent on getting this team to the World Series and World Series being at Fenway Park?
Yeah, there is something about just Boston sports this time of year. It was absolutely electric in the Garden last night. Congrats to the Celtics. Huge win, and it was an amazing, amazing atmosphere.
So, Sam, you look at this team and the turnaround that's going on. Is there a single thing that you and Chaim can point to and say this is what's going on with this team right now when it comes to the success they've had of late?
Yeah, I mean, it shows you what we know, right? We built this team to hit, and the first month of the season we did anything but that. But if you look at the team since, I don't know, mid-May, May 10th or so, I think we're 20-8, and we've got the best record in baseball. This sport is so confounding. It's really it's hard to know. But we've been winning in different ways. We've been blowing people out. We've been winning close games. We've had extra inning comebacks. But I think the story has been the starting pitching has just been so consistent all year long. And then, speaking of a story, Trevor Story, his resurgence since early May really got us going and kicked the team into another gear. So, like that said, we dug ourselves quite a hole. We're, 10, 11 games back in the American League East. We're in fourth place. Good news is it's early. We got over that hurdle of 500, and hopefully now we can really start to take off.
Sam, you talk about your starting pitching. I think you guys are fourth in the AL when it comes to ERA. What do you attribute, the success to your starting pitching from?
Well, I mean, obviously you got to credit the guys. Our rotation has been as good as anybody in baseball, led by Nate, Nick Pivetta, and Michael Wacha have just been incredible. I mean, they've been as good a three as anybody in the league. But I think, of course, you got to credit the players, but the game plan that Dave Bush goes out there and gives these guys every night has really been remarkable. And they've made a ton of adjustments, as AC said last night, throughout the course of the season, dealing with different lineups. And, if you're going to win in the American League East, you're going to have to make adjustments and get ready for a challenge down the stretch. So huge credit to Dave Bush and his team.
Sam, you talked about obviously being at the great Celtics game last night and how there's this friendly rivalry in Boston with the teams. I wonder if from afar you see what Wick Grossbeck did, which was stay the course when people like myself and others were screaming about the need to break up Jalen and Jason, and I was dead wrong, and but he showed patience in a position where few like you understand, where you're hearing the cacophony of the fans screaming and yelling about what the team needs to do. But the patience has obviously paid off massively for Wick. Had he separated those two, who knows what the future of the Celtics would look like now they're on the precipice of a championship. Have you seen that and gleaned anything in how you're approaching this team, and especially also with the future of guys like Bogaerts and Devers?
Yeah, it's a really good question, and it's hard when you work in sports and you're in a front office. You have to remember that these sports are always appreciated in the moment, whether it's baseball, basketball, football, hockey, soccer. and the criticism and the outcry and the outrage when you're going through a tough period. In Boston, and just having grown up here and being a diehard Boston sports fan my whole life, I always just remember that that's what makes it so great. I mean, sports matter here more than anywhere in the world. And when people scream and yell at me in Dunkin' Donuts, when we're going through a tough period, it's equally as enjoyable when things are going well. So you have to have a certain type of mindset and mentality. And you said it, Chris, patience is key, but it's really hard to demonstrate that. Kudos to the Celtics, to Wick, to Brad, to everybody over there for staying the course, and you see the result. We're definitely trying to do the same. Look, we had a team, we've talked about it, 2 games from going to the World Series last year. This year was about building upon that, and that's still the goal. We got 105 games left. We got a couple of big guys coming back in terms of starting pitchers, and so while we did dig ourselves a hole, hopefully patience and staying positive through it, and that's a credit also to the coaching staff. Staying positive, keeping guys upbeat is a hard thing to do, but that's the job, and you do need to stay positive and stay the course. Of course, there are times when you need to audible and do some things that are unpopular when you find yourselves in a really difficult situation like after the 2019 season. So it's hard, but that's the job.
Speaking of Xander, as Chris was, are any talks ongoing with him? Any update you can give us on that?
No update there other than, Xander just continues to carry himself like the leader that he is and just demonstrate why he's such an important part of everything we're doing over here. But no new update in terms of contract talks or anything like that.
Is there a misconception media-wise or fan-wise that he was upset with the level of the offer from the Red Sox?
Look, I'm not going to go into that other than to say the dialogue with Xander has always been open, honest, candid. He wants to be here forever. We want him here forever, and I'll leave it at that. And we'll continue the conversations, like I've said before, publicly on a timetable that works for him and his representatives. We respect that very much.
All right, Sam Kennedy. Oh, you got one more?
I just had one last question.
We
Sam.
only have 5 minutes, so just get
okay.
if you could get the question out quick.
No one when you
Hey, I think that's on me this morning.
Don't worry
that
about
was
it.
a record length.
Wiggy, it's a tough crowd over there.
Yeah, but these are the guys I got to work with every day. So I try to stay as patient as possible.
Well, Wiggy's average question is longer than the average Major League Baseball at bat.
Oh, geez.
Oh, they need a pitch clock, question clock, right?
Question clock.
All right, here we go. 5 seconds.
All right, Sam. So real quick, when you look at where you are in the standings, you know that you're a better team than your record shows. What's the front office approach, knowing that, hey, you were a wild card team last year and you were 2 games away from the World Series? What's that approach from the front office to say we're going all in because we know we're better than our record shows?
Yeah, well, I mean, look, we said it earlier. We've got over 100 games left. We're 35% of the way through. We did stay patient, stayed with certain guys. Guys are really starting to perform. We're going to get healthy, get some guys back, and Chaim and BOH and the baseball ops group have done an amazing job rebuilding our minor league system. So we also have weapons that can be coming up from Worcester, and it really should be an exciting summer if we can keep doing what we've been doing the last couple of weeks.
All right, Sam Kennedy, we will talk to you again soon. That is the front office report. Go Celtics and go Sox.
Yeah.